Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So, I wanted to do a brief little review of last week's agenda along with this week's agenda and your assignment that's due tomorrow and how that's going to look. I want to make clear that I posted this last week on Monday. You were fully aware of the artistic mind map. We talked about that in depth for quite a while now, and I gave you guys class time to do research. I also gave you visuals of students' artistic mind maps from last year, the strong ones. And every day there was one apparent of what they did from last year. These are strong ones from last year, and they had lists of ideas. They had essential questions. This is a student from fourth or fifth period this year, and this is her working on her artistic mind map, and you guys were taking photographs of your progress of your artistic mind maps. That was worth 20 points, not 5 points, and it really hurts when you don't do those things. I've given you 51 minutes each class period to be working on it. I wanted to talk about this picture. So this picture has decent lighting. You always want to use outdoor lighting. You never want to use a flash on your camera, and you want to make sure when you're taking your photographs that you do not have your shadow in the photograph. So what I do is I tape my artwork on the wall behind me next to a window so that you have that outdoor lighting, and it's not direct, it's indirect outdoor lighting. You can also tape it outside. You just don't want the sun shining directly on it, but you just want nice indirect outdoor natural lighting to take your pictures. You can see that all four corners are nice and clean, and the proportions of this image are good. They're not tilted or wonky. It's not blurry. It's not a complete art piece yet, but it's a strong progress. So you're going to be photographing your work and putting your work on a presentation that we're all going to look at and critique. Now, this is an example of a student that did not take a proportionate picture. You can see that it's wonky, it's larger on the top and it's smaller at the bottom. You want to make sure when you're taking your photograph that you are framing it evenly on all four corners. I can always help you crop it down, but I can't help you when it's smaller at the bottom and larger at the top. So you want to make sure that you tilt your camera and your paper correctly. Okay, so I just wanted to talk briefly about that. Here's another student's artistic mind map of ideas and essential questions. And as you can see, it's nice and crisp. All four corners are clean. There's no shadows. It has good lighting. It's not blurry. So that's what I'm expecting from all of you. So I'm going to move on. Since I gave you all those examples last week, this week, here are students' examples. We have Jocelyn Reyes' piece. This is what she photographed for her 20 points proof of practice, and she's reworked this several times. I would say it's a little rough edged along this corner, but that's the only thing I can say about this. It's really evident of the work that she has been doing. She's been working on this for a while, and she's making this very artistic, and it's clear that she's been brainstorming and doing a lot of ideas. So this is a person that is going to get a very strong grade tomorrow. Here's a student that was in process. I think this is also Cindy Barajas, and you can see she's pasting things, she's collaging, she's making this very artistic. Like I said, this assignment is an artistic mind map. You all are going to be talking to me today. We're going to have some poll questions, any concerns that you may have. That is what we're here today for support. You can always email me with questions or concerns about your attendance or your grades. Hey, Miss Brown, I just made up this work. Could you check it out for me? Make sure you put your name and period in the subject. But for the mass class group, I don't want to talk about things that are personal until the end. But if there's like general questions or concerns or something you're confused about, please bring it to my attention. So today we are going to have a overview of artistic mind map due tomorrow, right? And it's worth 100 points. You guys are expected to do homework in this class, but I've given you many days to work on your artistic mind map, 51 minutes per day. So I know that you've had plenty of class time and you can be working on it right now as we're speaking. I'm going to go over the submission process for tomorrow's assignment. And it's kind of an unusual way of doing things, so I really want to make sure it's clear. So what you're going to do, and I'm still in the process of making it, but I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see, I'll show you second periods because I finished second periods and I'll be working on that today for your class. Under second period, under classwork, I created an assignment and it's called the Artistic Mind Map. So when you click on that, there is a slideshow. It says second period, artistic mind maps and class critique, 100 points. Class feedback is an essential process in art. Find your slide and paste a nice quality photograph of your artistic mind map. No blurry images or disproportionate images. Proper indirect outdoor lighting, no flash. Classroom critique is going to be worth 50 points for participating, and that will be on Thursday. So this assignment is Wednesday. So I will give you till 3 p.m. So I'm giving you extra time to get this turned in onto the slideshow in case you're a little behind. Okay, and then I'll take that as your attendance, but it is due no later than 3 p.m. tomorrow. So I wanted to make that crystal clear to you. Now, here is an example. Example student, Cindy Barajas, AP Art. So obviously this is not her finished artwork because I stole this off of the agenda. This is one of her 20-point proof of practices and I just really liked it. So I decided to use that as an example. So it's a nice photograph and it's pasted on her slide. So you're going to have to scroll through along the left-hand side here and find your slide and paste your artwork, okay? So that's what the task is. Now I'm going back to this. And what's going to happen on Thursday is I will submit this to everyone to be able to look at, again, with everybody's images on there. And it has to be done by 3 p.m. on Wednesday for everyone to provide constructive critiques. So constructive critiques are positive feedback to help the artist. I don't want everyone to write the same feedback to the artist. I don't even really want you to be reading what other people are writing per se. I want it to come from you. Okay, so we talked about it, a positive like or love. So they need to start off with something positive. And so the other class said, we love the colors and the strong self-portrait in the middle here. And then work on things the students can work on. Feedback, could use more of, and then you're going to list ideas. Looks incomplete. Writing could be more vivid. Hard to see words and essential questions. Oh, there's a student trying to add. So that's really important for the constructive feedback. And then other ideas that you may help the artist with for feedback. So more color, more drama, more visuals is what I put as my example. So you will be asked to give constructive feedback to 3 of your peers. So you will take time and try to find students that don't necessarily have a bunch of responses, because usually that happens in the beginning and then people forget to scroll all the way down to the end. So I'll ask you to look at each and everybody's slides, and if I forget to put your name on a slide because I'm hand typing all this in, I will have blank ones at the end so you can type in your own name, but I probably will have it right for you. But just in case you're like, my slide isn't there, there's extras at the end. So that's what we're going to be doing for Thursday, is giving feedback to each and every one of you. This is 100 points, and then the constructive feedback is 50 points. If you don't turn in your work with something there, then you are losing a substantial amount of points and will be failing the class. We need to be working together as a group and sharing feedback, and this is the best way that we can provide input for a student that's, say, struggling and still doesn't have a lot there. If you turn in nothing, that's a 0. If you turn in something, then that's better than a 0, right? But you really need to put in the work. I'm going to give you class time today. There's no excuses to not turn in something. I want you guys to thrive in this class, but it's up to you to do your end of the bargain. So I will give any feedback if anybody has any questions right now. Does anybody have any concerns or questions that I need to know about?
No.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video.